lot of voiceover work. But I don't seem to have my reading glasses. Well, typically I like to get these things the night before, but I'll just give this a cold read then. Let's see. Get set for Viva Pinata! The groundbreaking new franchise and Xbox 360 video game from the legendary studio Rare. This immersive, customizable experience allows players to create a unique world where anything can happen. Wild, roaming, living piñatas inhabit your very own ever-evolving garden hotspot. Discover secrets about your piñatas and get them to grow, change, fight, and even dance. You take control, managing the environment to lure new animals, influence their interactions, and create a pet paradise unlike any other. Viva Pinata. It's as unique as you. Can we do one more for me?
I'm sorry, Amanda. If I'd known that you were alive, I swear I would have done everything I could to save you.
Please. I got over that a long time ago. You know what really used to bug me, though? When I got out and saw that you left without even trying to... What is it archaeologists do? Oh, right. Dig.
We'd thought of it as a memorial.
Whatever. Don't let her follow me.
Losing their own flesh and blood. He didn't take it well. Nobody would. When your job is to live like a criminal, the thin line between innocence and guilt disappears. Agent Sam Fisher is back. And this time, he's going deep undercover. For the first time ever, playing as a double agent.
Sam, I'm so sorry.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, double agent.
そなたたちは我らは聖堂騎士団。聖堂騎士団、聖都バルハーリンの聖堂騎士団か。ああ、そうだ。頼む、バルバザールを。バルバザール？辺境の防波堤であるバルバザールのことか。一体何が？多くたち辺境士族の攻撃を受け崩落の危機に。なんだって？頼む、救援を。
我が聖堂騎士団は当初の目的通りワンディーク砦を目指す。
待ってくれ。それではバルバザールを見捨てるというのか。
それも仕方ありません。
インフィ、どうか救援を。しっかりすろ、しっかりするんだ。インフィ、
父の命を奪ったゴブリンどもがすぐそこにいるのです。進軍はやめぬ。今からゴブリンの本拠地を叩く。
Not bad.
Wipe them out.
this May. April, see X-Men: The Last Stand in theaters. Become them.
We're looking for a few good men to lead a dangerous commando mission behind enemy lines to hunt and destroy a Nazi general. You must share an extreme passion for firearms, vehicular manslaughter, airstrikes, and hijacking, previous experience in demolition, hand-to-hand combat, tank commanding, and senseless violence is a must.
Got a better plan?
We will attack them head on!
Listen up, we got some crowds to kill.
Get that vehicle! Boom! Need some real destruction! Angels of Death, come on!
Someone had a sale on bullets.
Okay, moving on.
They're in for a hell of a surprise. I've had meatballs with more bite than that.
Say your prayers, cause you coming with me.
Stick 'em like pigs!
Get down! Let loose the dogs of war!
Make them cry, boys. They got me.
Lock and load.
Fire!
Die, Nazi scum!
Attack!
Rico Hinomoto! And Dixie's limits are Tequila Sunrise!
ちを塞げ。浸水するぞ。
ジパングだ。大丈夫かい？来たか、火の一族剣王丸。生きていたのか。そう簡単には死なん。俺に力を。奥義周作斬り秀よ大玉。なめくじ爆心撃。
休養ジャガン。力を解き放て。大神大将。
月姫
剣王丸。ダメ。させるか。大門卿最強の戦士にして最高の暗殺者マント様だ。愛の力を込めた無バシカの術。
笑わせる。
一撃だ。一撃で始末してやる。
卵姫様の力を見せてやるわ。糸姫の本当の姿を見せてあげる。やっておしまい。からくり兵初号機。
わしは大門卿総主ジャシー祭じゃ。
どうする火の一族。
まだまだ。剣王丸。
次はお前だ。
平井や。
火の一族など大したことはないではないか。
Revenge on the Xbox 360 console is all about long memories and short tempers. Now, Xbox Live rivals who take you down become revenge rivals, just like in the World Tour. We'll mark them for you, so you know who to get your own back on. And we'll tell you how many times they've taken you down as well. Forgiveness is for losers, though. Get them in your sights and take them down. Get revenge. But if you take them down first, you know they're gonna be coming for you. These guys are hunting you. Keep taking them down to earn new achievements. But watch out. It doesn't matter how many takedowns ahead you are. If they get you once, revenge is theirs. We'll track players you've tussled with in the past. And of course, tell you who the best burner in your game is. Pick a fight with other players if they're gonna have you marked for revenge. Enjoyed hunting down your rivals in racing? Well, it continues in Road Rage. It's a two-team affair, where the Blues race to the finish line and the Reds chase them down. Don't forget, we'll be rating all your performances in the only way that matters, against the world. Check out your world ranking to see how you measure up against other burners.
It's getting kind of scary up here, fellas. We can't take much more of this, Captain. Roger, we're falling into formation. We're coming to you. Watch your six. Moving to engage, Captain. He's on you like a hound dog or a pork chop. You're taking fire. You got one coming around on you, Cap.
Somebody's gonna be mad about that.
Nice shooting, Cap.
That's out of commission. I'm gonna put some daylight in that farmer. That one was too easy.
That will count for mine.
Bullseye, boss. They could have used more than they got.
Nice shooting, Cap.
In a dark, cold basement. Is this a dream or reality? Why? What for? Who brought me here? The escape to the ground. The battle for survival begins now. An ultimate human being weapon. Bomberman.
まるで魔女。
生きようが死のうが地獄に赤だ。
奴らすべて一人の目的を忘れたのか。
愛してるわ。
人類のために俺たちは命を懸ける。
目に見えぬ神は生命の摂理を決して曲げぬだ。
魔女に祈りはいらない。
no problem here.
Jack Carver has never been all that lucky. Troubles always seem to find him. And the ladies just push him around. Finally, someone pushed him too far. Unleash hell in all new Far Cry campaigns. Wage war across sea, land, and air in all new vehicles. Unleash all new explosive weapons and feral abilities. Multiplayer for up to 16 players, plus an all-new Seek and Secure mode. Create and play your own tropical hell with the upgraded map editor.
Far Cry instinct.
Thank you for purchasing Full Auto. This is your owner's manual, which answers questions about your vehicle and its functions. Chapter 1. Your vehicle and its weapons. Forward-mounted weapons, such as the mini rocket pod, and rear-mounted weapons, such as mines, are helpful for creating havoc on the street and its surrounding areas. Expect maximum environmental damage in an unlimited amount of ways from the use of these offensive and defensive weapons. For more information on Full Auto, the world's most destructive video game, please visit SegaLabs.com. Thank you for purchasing Full Auto. This is your owner's manual, which answers questions about your vehicle and its functions. Chapter 3. Unwreck. Unfortunately, accidents are inevitable. That's why your vehicle is equipped with Unwreck. This function is surprisingly simple. Turn back time and try again. Unlike life, you'll finally have a second chance to make a first impression. For more information on Full Auto, the world's most destructive video game, please visit SegaLabs.com.
Coming soon for the Xbox 360.
Stranglehold is a game on the next-gen platforms that really tries to recreate the cinematic style and excitement of John Woo's Hong Kong action-adventure.
We tie in the interactions and the smooth-flowing, dual-handed gunplay that you see in all the John Woo movies, the massive destructibility that adds to the atmosphere, the cinematic style and flair that John Woo adds to the experience. Woo's movies are perfect material for a game. All the cinematic gunplay that goes on, all the interactions with the world, and the dual-handed gunplay, and the flowing across tables, and rolling across tables, running up banisters, all this stuff leads to great video game action.
I've been trying to develop a sequel for Hybrid, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to make it better, you know. But I was so lucky to working with Midway. You know, they came up with such a great idea.
John Woo's been very involved in establishing what our storyline was going to be. He's been very involved with like the character development, the script. He's been involved in making sure we match his cinematic vision.
He'll give us comments back on not only the cinematics and how we tell the story, but also on some of the big special moves that happen in the game.
Inspector Tequila is the same character as Tequila in the original Hard-Boiled film.
He's the tough cop, just like Dirty Harry, So, and he's the man who's fighting for justice, and the man with a good heart and always like helping people.
He's a hard-boiled cop who is not afraid to go over the line to do the right thing.
It's always nice to working with Chow Yun-fat. He's such a great man. I truly admire him.
Having Chow Yun-fat in the game really gives it an authentic feel because he is the original Tequila who starred in Hard-Boiled.
Chow Yun-fat obviously gave us his likeness to use in the game, but he'll also be involved in doing voiceover. We also went out and scanned him in China and got a full body scan so that we could replicate him exactly in the game. The game is set in Hong Kong and in Chicago.
Within the story, Tequila actually ends up coming to Chicago.
Damon Zakharoff's penthouse is in downtown Chicago at the top of a high-rise. It's a very opulent place. This is where he brings clients and shows off his power and his wealth. There's multiple levels to it and areas in it, and it even goes out onto the terrace, and you'll be battling throughout this whole environment.
Chicago has a lot of museums, and so we wanted to have an environment that sort of reflected that. So we have a very interesting museum environment with lots of massive destructibility, like dinosaur bones.
It has a totem pole exhibit, and it has this Asian exhibit with all the terracotta warriors. So it's just an incredible place to do a battle. The marketplace lines up to the tea house, and this is the adventure that the player will go through to get to the tea house. And the marketplace is great because it's full of tons of objects that during the battle, with all the massive destructibility we have, will be an incredible experience of things exploding and flying through the air.
The Mega Restaurant is actually a giant restaurant on a boat. In real life, it's sort of a tourist trap, but in our game, we've sort of made it a little bit more upscale, and it's one of the places where you'll encounter Chinese gangs and their boss.
Tequila Time is our slow-mo action in the game.
Originally in the John Woo movies, he would use these slow motion sequences to really show off the dual gunplay of Chow Yun-fat.
Every slow motion have a different meaning to me. Of course, but most of the times I just want to make the actions look more beautiful, look more elegant.
You've seen this in games before, but John Woo's the originator of this, and we're going to stay true to this. This is a key part of the gameplay. Basically, the game goes into slow speed.
The player controlling Tequila actually gets to aim and target enemies and shoot enemies as if it was real time. So Tequila has this natural ability that's beyond the enemies in the game.
Massive destructibility is a key to the cinematic feel of Stranglehold. It really brings across the John Woo Hong Kong action film in the middle of a battle, shooting up everything in the environment, flying stuff in the air, debris, stuff crashing and breaking all in front of you.
In Stranglehold, you may get behind a pillar and have a bunch of enemies firing at you, and the enemy bullets will actually chip away at the pillar until it takes your cover away. So Massive D is not only just like a cool thing to have in the game, but it also adds to the gameplay. It's part of the fundamental gameplay of the game.
And one of the key things to massive destructibility is the fact that it stays in the environment. Nothing fades away, nothing goes away over time. So after a big battle happens and you look around the room, you can see it completely trashed and exactly how you trashed it in the battle. So it's a little bit different on everybody's experience.
Every time you play that area, every time that you play the game over again and destroy that area, everything is destroyed in a different way. It's really up to the player. The player really causes what's destroyed and what isn't.
This game will give everyone such a great opportunity to be in a John Woo film or to make a John Woo film. Get ready. John Woo presents Stranglehold coming soon.
I was writing games when I was, 12, whatever.
So essentially, you didn't go ask anybody and made this up?
No, it doesn't work. I asked Dawn and she told me to do this.
A really good example is you can see the copper ceiling.
And I definitely think it's a fun environment in a game to play in. There's some natural erosion going on.
She's still bluffing.
It all ties together. It's all one big bundle of this is the universe, and you touch something here and it moves something over there.
And before you know it, you have this world that you created in your own mind that you can sort of experience. Just bring in one of these guys, pop them down. I love the undead. I try to use them as much as possible.
When you have something that's powerful, it has a great capacity to be really cool or a great capacity to really make insanity.
Study the skeleton and you know exactly how it should move. Everything's connected. There's not one joint that you can just move independently, really.
Generals and kings have knelt at my command.
That's such a cheesy line. That sounds good when he says it. See, my wife will not be happy, but I have a Patrick Stewart picture in my wall. Right there.
So you guys know our demo machine melted last night? Better now than next week.
Feed me, Lord.
I don't know what kind of titanium alloy packing stuff they've got, but whatever it is, I just hope it can take a push out of a plane at 30,000 feet.
I'm gonna make video games and everyone's gonna play them. You dork. Go back to the chess club. Who's laughing now? Yes, I was in the chess club.
Time Shift is a game that focuses on a couple of key elements of gameplay, specifically innovation as well as the user's ability to slow, stop, and reverse the flow of time. You assume the position of Michael Swift, a test pilot who will travel back in time as part of a government-funded operation where he will essentially change the flow of time and an alternate reality will unfold.
On your belt is a data recorder. It always runs, and it records everything. It even recorded our training sessions.
That's great. I was hoping I'd have something to remember you by.
Shifting time incorporates time slow, time stop, and time reversal. The idea was to take these time control powers and to find ways to apply them to the gameplay to create new and compelling gameplay moments.
Now let's do this. Hey, Crony, what's with the suit?
My name is Ivan Krone. Dr. Krone to you.
The game takes place in this alternate time stream inspired by the efforts of Krone's work. Essentially, from about the year 1911, time streams kind of went separate ways, and so you have a focus on a very fascist, dictator-style government.
Today, I will send a man back in time. The subject is now inside this machine, the Chronomicon. Upon my command, he will leave us with a flash and travel through time to Christmas Eve in the year 1911.
It's got elements of science fiction. It's got elements of humor.
Since you're making history here, you might consider locating a razor before tomorrow morning. Just a thought.
But the gist of it is that we're trying to create as believable as an alternate reality can be.
Is the subject ready?
The subject's name is Colonel Swift. And yeah, I'm ready.
So with this next generation technology, the Xbox 360, what technical areas of the game have you been able to improve the most over the previous versions? What have been the major issues you've run into when trying to bring this current version of Battlefield Modern Combat to the Xbox 360?
Our major problem has been balancing all the great ideas we've had with the title and trying to release it so that players can actually get their hands on it. I mean, it was a real challenge changing absolutely every character. I mean, we changed everything from vehicles, objects, particle effects, every single visual element of the game. But I think that the results have certainly been worth it. We push over 10 times the number of polygons in a scene compared to the PS2 or the Xbox. Many scenes actually contain more than 1.5 million polygons, which is considerably more than any current-gen game so far. We also use almost 15 to 20 times the amount of texture memory. What we didn't want to do was simply make the title run on a 360 and put it in a box with a bit of gloss. What we wanted to do is actually make the player feel that this title is really worth considering over not only the current-gen version of the game, but also other standalone 360 titles as well.
So in terms of visuals, what have you guys been able to do in respect to the amount of technology the 360 allows you?
Other than every object in the game being significantly reworked for 360 in terms of poly counts and much higher texture resolutions, we've made full use of the 360's GPU to allow for a much more advanced lighting and shadowing model, using very advanced vertex and pixel shaders. Materials take on real physical properties such as specularity and bump, and they're also naturally self-shadowed. This enhances the game and the gameplay by allowing players to use shadows much more than they could before. We've made much greater use of dynamic lighting, and this too can make a real difference to gameplay as the player's muzzle flash gives his position away in the dark, and explosions and things like that light up the world. Damage and effects they're another area that have been given a major overhaul. Things like shooting up surfaces now reveal what they're made of, with really deep craters, and you can almost put your fingers into the bullet holes left on a tank, for example. Normal maps particularly are used on particle effects to enhance their solidity, and sprites no longer visibly slice through the world as they used to, but they now blend naturally, allowing us to use effects like rolling mist and low-lying fog much more interestingly.
Has working with the 360 allowed you to enhance any other aspects of the game in addition to the graphics?
We now have the power to vastly increase the number of AI units the player faces, as well as making much more physics through ragdoll death sequences and absolutely loads of debris strewn all over the place, putting the player under immense pressure and panic as the damage rains down and stuff lays strewn all around them.
So how much of the 360's power do you estimate is being used here? How much more can we look forward to?
As well as being a great game, Battlefield does more to demonstrate what the 360 is capable of than any other title we've seen so far. That said, this is the team's first title for the 360, and I'm sure you can expect even more impressive visuals from us in the future.
Hi, I'm Adrian Lacey, coordinator for Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, and this is the introduction in our first installment of Development Diaries. The Crosscom device is driven by satellite technology. It has been developed by the US military to help positioning on the battlefield for soldiers. In Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, we've introduced this into the heads-up display. That's the HUD. This allows the players to have extra intel whilst fighting street to street in Mexico City. Crosscom is a revolutionary new feature to Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. It appears on the left-hand side of the HUD and allows the player to see what his other team members are seeing in real time. This is a first for Ghost Recon and allows the player more situational awareness on the battlefield. You are embodying the soldier of the future, and using unmanned air support drones, now you can actually fly over Mexico City and see what your enemy's up to before they even know you're coming.
Moving to position.
Let's go! Acknowledge, Captain. Firing! The Narcom is actually an extension of the Crosscom. It acts as a secondary window which allows the player to receive additional intel. Intel in the form of support forces or from other generals that aren't actually on the battlefield. You don't actually control the players in the Narcom. However, it does give you added resources in terms of intelligence, which will help you in your fight. The most impressive thing about the Narcom is actually the news flashes, because then you can actually see what's happening on the outside world and not just what's happening in front of you on the battlefield.
We've got a confirmation on the VIP's present location. APCs are en route, so we'll need you to provide clear passage. We need a hole, Captain. A big one.
In terms of gameplay, the Crosscoms adds a whole new depth. Basically now you'll be able to see what your other players are seeing and cycle through them and get a bird's eye view of what they've got to see around in the next corner, what's waiting for them. It also allows you to see for the first time what unmanned support drones are seeing. This will give you added situational awareness on the battlefield and give you a huge advantage over other enemies. This is a very innovative new feature, and it really allows us to push the power of the Xbox 360.
APCs are en route, so we'll need you to provide clear passage. We need a hole, Captain. A big one. Light 'em up!
Crosscom activated.
One of the foundations of Ghost Recon is to recreate realism. The IWS gear is just another element that we've added into the game in order to give the player a little glimpse of what the future of US military combat is going to be like. In 2010, the US military will introduce the IWS system. We've reproduced it for you now, and now you're going to get a chance to have a play.
Future Force Warrior program was first introduced in Ghost Recon 2 as an integrated warfighter system. This was the mode that you played in Lone Wolf mode when you went out alone and tackled enemies using new technology. All the systems that are being developed for the Future Force Warrior program are designed to make the soldiers have a clear advantage on the battlefield, and you're going to see this in the game. The things that make the soldiers more survivable, more lethal, more flexible, and have more situational awareness are going to translate into game elements that you're going to be able to play with. Now, the key things that you're going to have is intelligence. Intelligence wins the battle. If you know where your enemies are, you can destroy them. And this comes out in the different high-tech elements that you're going to be able to play with in Advanced Warfighter. The goal of the Future Force Warrior program is to make the soldiers more efficient, more survivable, and more lethal on tomorrow's battlefield. The first thing you're going to notice is the ballistic assault helmet with the integrated cross-com monocle. Not only does this equipment provide protection for the soldier, but it has a suite of electronics to give him the latest intel in the battlefield arena.
In order to reproduce the integrated warfighter system, what we do is we actually put someone in the suit, we then put a series of points across his body, stick him in a circle, and then take a series of photographs. This allows us to create a cloud of points that we can then capture in 3D Max and reproduce the suit identically. The power of the Xbox 360 gives a whole new sense of realism and feeling of authenticity that the player has never encountered before. Get ready for the future of gaming. Get ready for Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter.
Light 'em up!
Crosscom activated.
Hi, in this installment of Development Diaries, we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look on how we recreated Mexico City. One of the main reasons we chose Mexico City is because it's got huge, diverse landscapes, which are very stimulating to the player. And because of the power of the Xbox 360, now the player can feel the heat of the Mexican sun on his back while he's fighting street to street, through urban environments, through skyscrapers, and riding high up in a Black Hawk doing gun rides across Mexico City.
We chose Mexico City for a number of reasons. Firstly, it fitted perfectly in terms of our story, and the sheer size and intensity of the city itself gave us a huge scope graphically. A small team, including the art director and myself, spent several weeks in Mexico City taking detailed movies and thousands of photos as reference material for all the locations that are present in each of the missions in the game. This meant we could reproduce many aspects of the center, and most importantly, the essence of Mexico City itself. We crossed the city mainly by foot, visiting key locations such as Reforma, the historical center, and the business district, which gave us the opportunity to propose many different configurations to the player in terms of level design. In terms of gameplay, this allowed us to create a unique experience for the player, both visually and tactically, through panoramic gun rides across the city, as well progressive assaults on enemy objectives moving from street to street.
Kill confirmed. Light 'em up!
Crosscom activated.
Hi, I'm Robbie Edwards. I'm producer at Red Storm Entertainment, and I'm working on Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. For Ghost Recon on the Xbox 360, we're offering an exclusive multiplayer campaign. This is different than what happens in Mexico City. This takes place in Nicaragua with an entire new set of levels, which are available through regular multiplayer play also. So when you pick it up on day one, you'll be able to start the first few missions, and then we'll offer new missions as time goes on.
The key theme of Ghost Recon 3 Advanced Warfighter multiplayer is player choice. We want to give the players the tools to have the type of game they want to have. Now, the most obvious feature for that is a customizable game mode. Build your own game mode, play the way you want to play. In addition, we have the player identity system that allows you to create your online identity to share with your friends. Next, we have the unique co-op campaign that's only available in playing together online. There's 4 different kinds of classes that you can play in Ghost Recon. You can play as a marksman, a rifleman, a machine gunner, and a grenadier. Each of these classes has set bonuses that allow you to reinforce the type of play that you want to have. For example, if you're a marksman, you'll get a bonus for single shot precision accuracy. If you're a machine gunner, you're going to get a bonus to handle recoil. This allows you to play the way that you want to play without restriction, but get bonuses to reinforce that. The cross-comm system in multiplayer is built for team communication. The team that communicates with each other is the team that wins. So we wanted to give players the tools to do that. You can set different kinds of rally points through the cross-comm system in addition to viewing your teammates' point of view. You can set rally points to tell the team where to go. You can call for help using the cross-comm, or you can set other players as a rally point for you so you can easily find your teammates when they come into trouble. The biggest effect on our multiplayer level design has been the prototype process that we implemented for Ghost Recon 3. We build the levels in a prototype phase and then play test them hours and hours and hours before they even go into production. So before we even add the art assets into the map, we know they're going to play well.
Light 'em up!
Vol.06.